Alright folks, welcome to your Honors Algebra 2 quiz review video for your first quiz this Friday. I'm going to quickly go over the answers, especially for the first review here. Number one, again, we talked about these today in class, so it shouldn't be no big deal. Just order of operations. Alright, number one, there we go. Here's number two. Again, we talked about this one in class. Make sure to take care of the parentheses and then go about squaring. Number three are certain numbers we're going to plug in for W, X, and Y. And there we go. On 4, when we square negative 3.5, we get 12 1/4. And it's just multiplication after that in that problem. Number 5's pretty, not bad to handle on the left side especially. Get 72/7. Remember, we called that 10.3 in class. Added together 110.3. Number 6, folks, not bad. The left side's a little rough. Again, your quiz will be made easier in terms of the answers we get. I think in class we called this 0.8. Alright folks, number 7, simplify, just distribute there, combine like terms, 25x minus 44. Number 8, just distribute, combine like terms, 16x minus 17y. Looks good. Again, if I make an error, please let me know. Number 9 here, just distribute. And remember, a negative times a negative is a positive. You got x, y, and z there, no big deal. Here we have some distribution. We do have some fractions, so this one a little bit challenging. 3/2 x plus 2/3 x, 3/2 plus 2/3. You can use alpha y equals, but that's just going to be 13/6. 9/4 minus 5/3. It's going to give you negative 47/12 for y. Number 11 shouldn't cause you too much issue. No fractions there, leaving you with 6x minus 4y. Again, the arrows mean multiplication. Then number 12, we do have some fractions. 6/5 x minus 12/5 y minus 5/4 y. Negative times a negative is a positive 3/4 x. So 6/5 plus 3/4, going to give you 39/20 for the x. And then for the y, negative 12/5 minus 5/4, negative 73/20y. Number 13, if I want to solve for y, I need to multiply both sides by 2, add 3, then divide by 5. Number 14, I want to solve for w here. Okay, I want to solve for w here, so I want to add xz to the third minus 6, which I did there, and then finally I want to divide by x. Alright, so I get equals xw, and then I just want to divide both sides by x to get that final answer. And then we just solve our equations for x. Just distribute, subtract 3x from both sides, subtract 13, you get 3x equals negative 19. Negative 19/3, negative 6.3 repeating, no big deal. On 16 here, distribute. Combine like terms, 7x minus 20 equals 7x minus 27. The x's cancel, negative 27. Where negative 20 equals negative 27, that's false, no solution. 19, distribute 3. You do get like 3.5x. That's what I called in class. Then we called this 8.5. And on this example, I just multiply by the reciprocal. Or we have like negative 1/8.5, which we doubled to call negative 2/17. This one, folks, we're going to multiply everything by the lowest common denominator, which is 28. Alright, all these numbers can be made into 28. And if you didn't know that, you can just do 4 times 7 times 2. That's going to give you 56, which is going to be no big deal. Anyway, 28 divided by 4 is 7, 7x. 28 divided by 7 is 4, 4x. 28 times 3 is 84, divided by 2 is 42. Alright, and on the first review, here's the answer to 19. Combine the x's, negative times negative is a positive. Add 29 to both sides, you get a nice answer of 16 there. Then on 20, I told you how to handle this. Let's just distribute through. And then call this like 11/1. And the lowest common denominator of 4, 1. 5 and 10 is going to be 20. Multiply everything by 20. 20 divided by 4, 5x. 20 times 11, that's going to be 220. 20 times 24 divided by 5, 96. And then finally, 20 times 3 is 60, divided by 10 is 6x. And then if you subtract 5x, subtract 96, you get x is negative 316. Wow. Possible bonus question is this right here, cross multiply. So multiply across, then you can kind of get the x by itself eventually. That's not a terrible question. Okay, here's review 2 that you're going to work on tomorrow, so Thursday in class, kind of solo. There's the answer to number 1. Again, please look at the work there. Order of operations, do the parentheses, then square it, then subtract, divide by 5. Pause this whenever you need to. Do 5 squared, subtract 1, 2/3 of that. All right, plus 12. Number 2 is pretty easy. Number 3 there. Do the parentheses. You're going to cube it, multiply, add together, divide by 8. A, B, C, you know what they are. That one's a pretty fair question. Number 4, to subtract negatives to add. You get 8 times a half. That's pretty easy there. Number 4. Number 5 is also pretty good. That half there is not a big deal. All right. You're going to get negative 6 plus 6. That's interesting. A negative times a negative is a positive. You get 0 as your answer. Take a look at 6. When you square a half, you get a fourth. But a fourth times 16 is just 4. Here, you're going to have negative 12 up top. Negative divided by a positive is a negative. To subtract a negative is to add. That is 10. All right. Left side, you have 30. Then you're going to have 4 minus a negative 3, which is 7. 7 divided by 7 is 1. Negative 3 squared is 9. Add those together. So again, that is 1. 30 plus 1 plus 9 is 40. Again, you're going to get this review tomorrow, Thursday, and going to try to do this solo, but here are the answers. There's number 8. All right, combine like terms. I think you get 42x plus a single y. You can put one y there. That's no big deal. Take a look at number 9. There's the word combine like terms. Underline the x's, underline the y's, put them together. There we go. Here we have z, no big deal. Multiply everything by 6, multiply everything by negative 7. A negative times a negative is a positive. A negative times a negative is a positive. Combine like terms. Here the x's cancel. All right, remember a negative times a negative is a positive here. The x's cancel. 8x minus 8x gone. You're left with negative 14y. 7 over 6 times 12 is nice. Here you have 7 times 3, that's 21. Divided by 6. 21 divided by 6 is 7 over 2. That simplifies. Okay, so the x's combined to give you 26x. 7 over 2 plus 21, that's 42 over 2. Just double it. Multiply by 2. Negative 7 plus 42, that's how we get the 35 over 2y. All right, here's another one with a fraction. Not terrible. Okay, you're dealing with 3s and 4s, so you're going to do 4/3 minus 5/4, which I do over here. Common denominator is 12. Then you're going to do negative 7/3 plus 3/4, which I do over here. Common denominator is 12. You get negative 19 over 12 for y. All right, this next one, very easy. The y's cancel. You're just left with 6x. All right, solve for y. Multiply both sides by 4. Add 5. Divide by 2. Solve for a, so add that to both sides. Subtract that from both sides like we have. And then divide by b. Not bad. Now on 17, folks, I'm going to change that one in class, and we're going to do that together. Okay, so as it has here in the video, get x all by itself. Both those terms have x. So if I just leave it like this, I would take out the x they both have in common, but we haven't really talked about factoring again yet. So again, I'm going to change number 17. That's how you would do that one. But I'll change it to probably solve for z or something tomorrow. Okay, so just know that. 18, solve for x. So it's really the same thing here. So I kind of need to change it to like solve for w on 18. But it's the same deal. You get the x's together and then take out the x they have in common and divide by that w minus c squared. So again, I'll talk to you about 17 and 18 tomorrow. And lastly, here are some equations to solve. The first one shouldn't give you too much trouble. Subtract 4x from both sides, add 10, 25 is x. 7x and 3x gives you 10x. All right, get negative 1.5 as your answer, no big deal there. No fractions to deal with in your work right here at least. You do get a fraction as an answer. Number 22, multiply the lowest common denominator of 4, 5, and 3 is going to be, let's see, I put 60 here, and I believe that is the true lowest common denominator. And if you do 5 times 4 times 3, you get 60. So multiply everything by 60. 60 divided by 4 is 15x. 60 divided by 5 is 12x. 60 times 2 is 120, divided by 3 is 40. Combine the x's, divide by 27. This works out pretty nicely. A negative times a negative is a positive. 4x minus 2x is 2x. Negative 20 plus 16, negative 4. Add it, divide by 2. And then on 24, so we kind of did something like this before. And again, I might recommend, so when you get to this point right here, we might do it differently. Just call this 8 over 1. Multiply everything by the lowest common denominator, which would be 15, instead of cross multiplying. So I might show you how to do 24 in a different fashion tomorrow. Either way, you get 78. So again, when I made this work before, I think you guys understood how to just multiply everything by 15 first. You would get 5x minus 120 equals, I think, 36 plus 3x. Move that over, and you're going to get your answer. Okay, and we'll talk about how to do 24 differently tomorrow. Anyway, folks, this is Yak Math Videos, signing out.